Hello everybody and welcome back. So we are working on this effect and we left off in the last tutorial here. So this is where we are, and in this tutorial we're gonna make sure we have the mesh and stuff for our ghost. So we're gonna go into Houdini, and if you see here I don't have any Houdini file. So go into Houdini and I'm gonna save as. And I'm going to save it in the correct folder and accept. So now I have the Houdini file here. Perfect. So the first thing that I want to do is to make a geometry node, because now we're going to create the ghost. And if I press space 3 or space 4, we get the right. And here it's 1 unit. So I'm going to make the ghost like 1.5 unit. So I'm going to have Bezier curve here, and I'm going to drag in here, so it's going to be ghost like this kind of. And here I'm just going to do resample, because we want points, because now it's the Bezier curve and it's tangents and stuff. And if we do resample, we get the curve, so that's super good. And then we do a sweep node. And this one going to have the round tube. And then here we're going to do grid. So just get this nice round ends here. And then we're just going to do this apply scale. And we're going to have a little bit bigger like this. And here can change this to Bezier, these points here. So now when I create the new ones, they will also be Bezier. So if I click here we get the Bezier curve. And I'm going to do this one a little bit bigger and have it, yeah, something like this. Looks a little bit like the worms in Worms 3D or what the game is, but yeah, looks cool, looks good. So this is going to be perfect for our ghost. So this is going to be the ghost body, and now we're going to make in the front perspective a new Bezier curve. So if we just do here and do it like this, now we have the arm. So we're just going to do a resample. So I'm just going to copy this one. Then we do a sweep again. And this is going to be the round tube. And we're also going to have this grid. So we have nice ends here. So if we template this one, and then we're going to do the apply scale. So I'm going to do a little bit like this. It's not going to be super, yeah, this is good enough. And then we do a mirror. This one here. And now, actually, we're going to use a Boolean, because we want these parts to be combined. So if we look here, you see they are actually intersecting, but we want to do this union. And if we remove this stuff and make a null, it should be, yeah, here you see now they are combined, so that's perfect. And here we're going to do a remesh. And the reason I want to do this now is because when we do this transparent, we don't want to see the edges and shape of the other stuff going on. So here we have, and then I'm going to do a little bit smoothing on it. Yeah. And I actually want the arms to be, yeah, no, it's fine. It's going to be good. So, and I'm also going to do spheres. that's going to be the eyes. So if we template this one and look at the eyes, we want the eyes to be somewhere about here. And they're going to be smaller, of course, and then I'm going to do the mirror stuff again to this one. Now we just move this one to the side and look at the mirror. Yeah, that's good. So I'm going to do a little bit less resolution on the eyes and take them in a little bit more. And now I'm going to do a boolean. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to subtract. So here so here you see we removed the inner part, but I'm going to use this as a solid surface. And this is really good because now when we look at the ghost from the backside, let's see, where do we have it here? So if we look from the backside, because we see the mesh from the backside, we won't be able to see the backside of the polygons, only the front side, which I want to have that effect with the ghost, so we don't see the eyes from the behind when it's transparent. So this is the ghost, and I'm just going to make a color. So we have the eyes to be black. So here we have some black eyes, perfect. And inside the shader, we're going to use vertex color to differentiate between stuff. So here I'm just going to make the ghost red. This means we have a red ghost and black eyes. So now I can have different colors on these two, and it's easy to work inside the shader. So then the last thing I'm going to do is to make it transform, and this is going to be 100 times because we need to compensate for the scale difference in Houdini and Unity. And we're going to have a ROP VFX output, and this is going to be the ghost. And I'm actually going to make a null node here because this is what the mesh name going to be. Mesh going to be ghost. And what I mean by that is if I save here now and look inside Unity, here's the ghost. And if we put it to scene, so now here, you see the name is mesh ghost. So that's why I did this mesh ghost. No, there are more ways to do it, but I tend to do this sometimes. So now here we have the ghost, and now let's make the shader for it. And that's going to be shader graph, URP, and we're going to have unlit shader graph. Because it's a ghost, we don't need any light on it. So this ghost, we're going to make, you don't need to make a material. I'm only doing material so I can debug now. So inside the shader, let's see, we have it here. Okay, good. It's going to be a really simple one. So we need a Fresnel effect. And we're going to make sure that this is transparent. So we just put the Fresnel in the alpha. And if we do save here, you see we have some kind of ghost going on here. And we also just going to have this color. So we can have a color on the ghost. And if we take the vertex color, and if we just split, so we can get the red color. And here we have a lerp. So what this is, when it is red, so when it's red here, we want the color and when the vertex color is black. So here we have red or black, and because red here is in here, now we can differentiate. So when it's black, that means it will be 0 and the input here, so the eyes will be black. So if we save here, and we change the color to red or blue, we want a blue ghost. And we need to change the material, we need to reset it. So here we have a ghost. So yeah, let's see. Actually, I want this shader to be an elite, because I want to be able to have smoothness and stuff. So I'm going to do smoothness. And add it here. So I'm going to make it a slider and do 0.4 as a default. And I save it. Yeah, looks a little bit more cool. A little bit of reflection. And then we can do this power here. Work a little bit with it. This is going to be good enough. This is our ghost. And the last thing we need to do in the graph settings, we need to make sure it supports VFX graph. So we click here and save, and now it works. So back here, we need to change the cube to our ghost mesh. So we have the ghost here. So we can remove this one here. And here you see we have the ghost going on, and we need to here open up and get the shader we did. So now we have the default ghost going on. Super nice. And I'm also gonna see, I don't want any shadows here. So let's check the here, and we can cast ghosts, cast shadows and receive shadows. We can remove that. So we have it a little bit more ghosty, yeah. So here we have it. So now we have the ghost and we have the trails. We can do a little bit nicer trails here too. So if we go back into the vector field, we can control that to be a little bit better. And I'm going to do here, I'm going to do set size. So now we can control the size of the stripes that going afterwards, and they are a little bit too big now. But let's do 0.5, and yeah, that's gonna be good. We're gonna change it a little bit more later, but this is perfect. So in the next setup, we're gonna make sure that we work with a vector field, because now we have everything set up. So in the next tutorial, we're going to go inside Houdini, and we're going to make the vector field to make it go and not to bump into the rocks, because now you see they are going through everything here, and we don't really want that. So, and we're also going to make sure that they snap down to the ground and not going in the air, so they will kind of walk on the surface. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next tutorial.